of this animal, I'm just realizing that we could do with bulking out the left-hand side a little bit. So it's almost as if my watercolor marker drawing was originally pretty close, or closer than I realized. And then my loose brushwork, things went a little bit astray. So I can just change the shape there. So this is the kind of constant dance you end up doing, really, with loose expressive brushwork. Obviously the aim is not to be photorealistic, but at the same time, how much of a distortion from reality is too much. And I personally feel that just adding in these few little licks, as I'm doing now, that's kind of improved the way this animal looks. Now, the ear here could probably do with being just a touch bigger as well. And I quite like the couple of long hairs which are kind of wisping down from the bottom here. So I'll do my version of those. And then I think the tail that I added in just sort of made up. I could do a thing just a little bit darker. So I'll give that another lick of paint. Add a few wispy bits along the back. And then I want to add just some very subdued highlights to the areas around the eye of the first animal. And I've got this little patch of orange here, but because it's only been dry a few minutes, with the interactive acrylics I can just add some water and work away at that with the brush, and it comes back to life quite nicely. Now, if that had been a couple of days, then I wouldn't be able to do that. But it's good because you end up not wasting too much paint. So anyway, so that gives me a fairly dark orange, but against the relative much darker color that I put down already around this eye, it acts as a highlight. And I can add some of that around there on that side of the nose as well. Some down there on the ear. And I think actually that this wasn't my original intention. I was going to use a different color up on the forehead, but I think it's going to work okay. So we'll add a few patches of shadow to introduce some texture to the forehead. And although the top of the head is very much bathed in light, in the photo there's a third dark calf behind the head of this one, so the highlights look very light, but I'm working against pale blue sky, so a bit of artistic license here. We'll add some darker wispy bits on the top of the head so that it stands out a bit better. And I'm going to grab a little bit of white and mix that in with what I've got on the brush, because I think I sort of did the same thing that I did to this little chap. I made the nose a bit too narrow. I think that works a little bit better.